But like, so I'm a true believer in you have to inspire the people that you want to work with you. Like, you have to inspire them.
That's
You
true.
have to like say, we're changing this and we're changing that. And guys, this is what we're doing. Inspire them, but you have to inspire them always through themselves, right? Like, always inspire them through themselves. But ultimately, you got to show the passion. You got to show the energy. Like, you got to show like why you're doing this, the problems you're solving, how we're disrupting not just an industry, but a whole fucking business mechanism in marketing. Like, it's insane. You got to like, but you have to bring that energy because listen, you're only as fast as your lead horse, and you're only as slow as basically your back horse, right? So I mean, it just really comes down to like bring everyone collectively in a team and then move it together.
What's going on, my man?
Man, I'm just fuck. We're oh man, we're going through it right now. We're just getting so much stuff going on with some stuff going on with just hiring. We have literally like feel like I'm hiring. I'm jumping on like 4 or 5 different other calls right now. I'm going like tech to hiring to sales to marketing to operations to finance. It's just like it's a lot right now, man.
How many people are at your company?
We have about 8 to 10 right now, core in Toronto, and then we have a team of about 15 to 20 other data scientists and AI people just around North America and offshore as well. So it's a team of about 30, but we're hiring now for like leadership positions right now. So it's a little bit stressful, and we just gotta, find the right people, find really driven, motivated people, and then ultimately bring them all into the fold. That's it.
Well, you just touched on like, you're in every single different direction in every area of your business. And I think that speaks to how important it is, like, of being multi-dimensional and not having all your eggs in one basket, like being versatile. And that makes me think of, because I'm working a lot in that professional athlete space, and we're getting into like, we're trying to teach them about tech investing and angel investing in startups and how that whole world looks like, because these guys are making so much money. They're like, okay, that's great, but you make majority of your wealth before you're 30.
Right.
Now you need to start diversifying and everything. And one of the biggest things, like just like sports, the investing world, you need to be able to like, you need to be involved in the startup. You need to use your network, your brand, your influence, your connections to help and be hands-on in these startups. I think like the importance of versatile in business is just the way it is in hockey or in basketball. Like, I'm not as familiar with it in hockey, but I know for basketball, like if you can only shoot, that's great. Like the coach isn't gonna put you on the floor if you can't play defense.
Right.
You got to be if you can shoot but you can't dribble, then you're just gonna sit and duck, right? And so, like, do you see that similarity or that parallel as well?
It's really funny, right? Like, I think it's great because like hockey or basketball, like they're established sports. They've been around for hundreds of years, right? There's been a forward, a center, a point guard, a shooting guard. Like, it hasn't really changed. The style of game's changed, but the positions haven't really changed, right? Hockey's the same way. With a startup, it's like you're writing like almost the whole game sometimes. So you're creating the sport.
Right.
You're like, if you want to use the analogy of hockey, you're like building the boards, making the ice, and then you gotta play every single position, and you gotta coach. Like, it's like, So what we're doing right now is kind of similar, right? Like, originally I was playing every position. Then I didn't play. Then I said, you know what? I hired some defense tech guys. Then, you know what? We hired a CEO, like an operations person who's kind of our goalie, keeps everything together, right? And then ultimately, I'm playing forward and I'm innovating and doing a lot of the sales. But now, eventually, you got to go out and get your bench. You got to go out and get your second line, your third line, your fourth line. Sure. And that's basically what we're doing right now. We're trying to find candidates and people that can just come in and fit that team culture. It's used of any other analogy. That's kind of the way it goes.
And unlike sports, like you said, basketball, soccer, hockey, football, they all have rules. Like,
right.
It's there's a few different rules that you look at the NFL and the CFL, or like international basketball versus like the NBA. There's small rules, but there are guidelines. Like I can go to China and play a game of pickup basketball, and like everyone's going to play the same rules. But
Right.
in the startup world, you're creating your own rules, just like you're creating your own boards and your own ice. Like how like
it's
is there a general
you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like when you're a kid, you're playing like a flag, you're playing like football, you're playing some sport, and then you make up some rule. Like you make up some rule which ultimately is advantageous for you, and you win the game. That's kind of like a startup. You're playing kind of in an industry, you're playing kind of in a realm, and then ultimately you become innovative and you make a rule. And then ultimately you really say, hey, that kind of flows and that plays into the game. And then ultimately you change the game, if that kind of makes sense. And that's a startup for us. We're an innovative marketing disruptor. So we were playing in marketing, playing in B2B. And then we said, oh, you know what? We can do it this way, which kind of just changes the rules. And ultimately that rule has, we've kind of changed the game.
But talk to me about, like, because I've never built a company, and I know you're not doing it on your own. I know you're not doing it on your own, but like, talk to me of like building that structure, building the foundation. Are there certain guidelines where you're like, okay, in a business, you need a sales team. In a business, you need marketing. In business, you need HR. But like, I'm trying to like take me back to the first time that you were even introduced to how businesses work and operate. How did you navigate? How do you navigate what those rules are? Are you looking at other companies? Are you doing your own research?
I think
mentors.
Yeah, I think mentors are a big one first. I mean, we have two great mentors here at Greencube who built businesses, built multi-billion-dollar businesses before. From nothing. And so that's like the best resource you can have possible.
Yeah.
Then you have like, okay, how are a bunch of startups doing it today? Like, what are the teams, what are the full, you're not reinventing the aspects of the team really, but you're just, but you have to find people for those aspects that fit within your startup and fit within your culture. That's the whole different thing. That's the game.
Yeah, and your voice and your operations and how you do things.
Yeah, man. It's funny because like what I probably wouldn't fit into, I don't know, maybe a big bank culture hypothetically, because I'm not a cubicle person.
Yeah.
I would probably sit there and tell my boss within 2 or 3 days that, hey, I think you're wrong. I don't think this is how it is. That's why I'm made for startups, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just different. But we have people in our company that maybe aren't as expressive and won't tell their boss, hey, I think you're wrong after 2 or 3 days, but they have that kind of demeanor, that innovative mentality to keep changing. They just maybe they don't voice it straight up like me, but they kind of do it in a way more probably better calculated way.
So Greencube's not like cubicle, like not every employee has their own.
We actually all actually I have a suit and it's just a cube and I walk around the office just like this. Yeah, it just rolls.
So what is it like? Is everyone? I know it's COVID and stuff, but like picture post-COVID or pre-COVID world, what would it be like?
Oh man, this thing. Oh, I gotta show you this. This is actually dope.
Yeah.
Let me show you. So that's Megatron.
Yeah, bro. What's
this thing is, I would try to pull my camera across. This thing's 8 monitors, man. And we set this up. That is actually not a trading desk. That is literally what how we're reinventing digital marketing. If you can believe that.
Interesting.
We are constantly monitoring our campaigns and visually looking how everything is going. I can get kind of more in the intricate details like at another time, but like just that, like we made that. That's our device. That's our home. Someone's gonna sit in that chair. Like that's Megatron. So
like, but like the office you're in right now kind of seems like, hey, this is one room. It's wide open. It's not.
Yeah, no, the office in general, dude. I'm like very sports-esque, right? Like come in, like I don't want to say like Wolf of Wall Street-esque, but like very like high energy stuff happening, like booking calls, generating leads for clients, selling, bringing in new clients, everyone just upbeat, going, ringing bells, sounding horns, music blasting sometimes. just having a good time, man, making it fun.
People are all in the same room.
Yeah, I mean, then you got to go to maybe your boardroom and take your sales calls. It's not a party and you got that going on. But yeah, there'd be like a huge pit kind of. We want to do like a pit, have like everything, like this, create the atmosphere of like just energy and fun.
And something that you get excited to go into.
Oh, that's it, right? So like, I think a big thing what people are struggling with right now is like this whole work from home.
Yep.
They like go back to the office thing, which is work because we're struggling with it now too. Because I think honestly, like office culture, like there's just stuff like that you pick up in the office that you could not. Like if I have an issue now, I have to go like type it out in a document and send it out. I've spent 20, 30 minutes when I could just got up and went like, hey man, I just got this idea, like it's just it's way more efficient, I think, having people in one room. But we've built a great company digitally. But ultimately, yeah, like I want a place where people wake up every day, or don't wake up every day, just get up organically, right? Like we've talked about, and just go, and they want to go there. And I think this place is fucking awesome. I love it at Greencube. This is the most fun, amazing work atmosphere.
All your time. You spend
all
your time.
People, yeah, I mean, I do. I spend all the time by myself right now. I want more people coming in here, man, like enjoying this with me. Like, this is fun. Dude, why does work have to be, like, why do you have to be miserable?
That's right.
Why does that have to be work? Why can't you just get up and have some fun?
Well,
enjoy it.
Yeah, but that like, I think the reason why it like work to a lot of people is because they're not doing what they want to do. Right? You wake up knowing that you get to go build the company that you're building because it's yours, it's your idea, it's whatever. Some people like are just doing it for the paycheck because it was offered to them.
I've worked for companies in the past, right? Like I've worked for startups and people saying like, it wasn't my company. I had no equity in the company. But I wasn't inspired by it. But like, so I'm a true believer in you have to inspire the people that you want to that work with you. Like you have to inspire them. You have to like say, we're changing this and we're changing that. And guys, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Inspire them. But you have to inspire them. Like I've always taken that approach. Remember we talked about last time, like guiding?
Yes.
So inspiring people through like always through themselves, right? Like always inspire them through themselves. But ultimately, you got to show the passion. You got to show the energy. Like you got to show like why you're doing this, the problems you're solving, how we're disrupting not just an industry, but a whole fucking business mechanism in marketing. Like, it's insane. You got to like, but you have to bring that energy because listen, you're only as fast as your lead horse. And you're only as slow as basically your back horse, right? So, I mean, it just really comes down to like bring everyone collectively in a team and then moving together.
Well, I think back to my last year at St. FX when I was playing basketball, and I was playing basketball since I was 4 years old, nonstop, basically, pretty much all year round. The season starts in September, it ends in March, and then you're in the off season and you're either in, during high school, you're traveling and playing tournaments, AAU tournaments. You're either working out on your own, training for the next season.
Right.
And there came a point in time when I was going from my third to fourth year, I was like, okay, well, now I'm at the point where I'm graduating next year and professional basketball is not in my future. Be like, not that it couldn't have been, not that it couldn't have been, but I was just like, what am I going to do? Play 1 or 2 years? Like, this isn't a career for me. It's time for me to switch gears.
Yeah.
So during my entire last year, we were rebuilding. We lost all of our seniors. I was one of 2 seniors that were graduating that year.
Right.
We had a brand new team of rookies that were incoming, and I was just like, you know what, like that drive that I used to be like in the gym, like a gym rat every single day, died because I was like, okay, like this is the end of the journey. I don't want to put in the extra work, like, and people are going to listen to that and be like, man, no, you always put in work no matter what. Like you grind, you be the leader for the team. But like just personally, I felt burnt out.
Right.
I've been playing basketball for like 18 years nonstop.
Right.
And then I saw no future in it. So like, that was the first time in my career where I was like, I wasn't excited to go to practice. I was like, I wasn't excited to wake up for those 7 a.m. weight room, because I was just like, what am I doing this for? You know, I was starting to think of like, okay, what am I going to do after school? Like my time could be spent better elsewhere.
Right.
So I think that makes me empathize with people that wake up and go work for a company that they might have liked at the beginning, but they're just like, okay, I don't see a future in this. I don't see like this isn't what, like, internally, I know this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. So how, like, did you experience that in hockey, like towards the end of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I experienced it like in my brief stint in pro. Like, I didn't like it. I think maybe because I was treated so well at Dartmouth, but like I just didn't. Yeah, man. Like I got to pro and I basically like the lifestyle. I wasn't really into it. I don't know. I just didn't gravitate well when I went to pro, and ultimately that. Yeah, I sat there and I said, man, I don't want to be 29, 30, 31 years of age and maybe play 2 games in the NHL. And fuck, now I'm 29, 30, 31 years of age, and I have I haven't started anything that I can build a lifestyle on, right?
Right.
So that was the biggest thing for me. But like I'm wired different, right? And you are too. Like we're both wired in the sense that we always want to progress and get better and get better and get better.
Right.
And I think we both just found that, I could have stuck with hockey. You could have stuck with basketball to go pro. I could have gone play. I could still be playing. I still think I'm good enough. Some leagues, maybe not the top leagues, but maybe like the third or the fourth league. Like I still can play. I still step on the ice. But like, I don't know, man. I've always wanted to like better myself, create value, and I've always had that entrepreneurial kind of flair in the background.
So the entrepreneurial thing. So like during your few years in pro, were you like, damn, I could be spending this time like building a business or getting experience in a different world than sports?
Well, I think I was thinking about that in college, right? Like I was even thinking about that before I went, right? It was like, I want to start a business. This is how I want to do it. This is like where I want to be. Like, I don't know, I want to start my own business. I want to be a founder. I want to be an entrepreneur, right? Yeah. Then you don't even know what the hell that means, right? Like you don't know. Like you have no idea, but you kind of know, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like Jedi mind tricks, just like pulling you towards it, right? Like who the fuck knows why you go do stuff? But like ultimately, I discovered like what it meant to be and like the effort it means to be an entrepreneur and reprogramming yourself out of an athletics mode towards that work mode, right? And ultimately the work mindset of being an entrepreneur. And I'm still reprogramming. I'm always going to be reprogramming.
And we say this every week, like you're still early in your journey, right? Yeah. You're still building Greencube. Greencube like is, like you're at 8 to 10 employees. You're at about 20 employees together. Like where do you see not Greencube's future, but your future as an entrepreneur and as a businessman?
I don't know, man. But like, all I know is I'm going to keep getting better every day. I think I'm going to use the cliche athlete response and say, I'm going to focus on the now. I'm going to focus on the present. But it's so true, right?
It's true.
Like, you really have to just focus on day to day. You have an idea of where it could be, maybe. And it's good to have ideas and dreams and stuff, but ultimately, you got to focus on like you right now and ultimately just wake up every day and get better. Like, that's it. That's literally it.
But you've got to have thought about like, now I even hate when people are like, yo, what do you want to do in 10 years? Like, hate that. But you have to, like, at the same time, with the whole athlete get better every day, like you have a goal in mind, right?
Right.
So right now is your goal just to make Greencube as big as possible and get it into the hands of as many businesses as possible?
Right now, I just want to build it, grow it. I think it's such an amazing business that we built. I think it's such an amazing team that we have here. Like, I want to grow with our team and grow with our people and like sit here one day and hopefully be on the cover of Forbes magazine and say, yo, this is what we built. Like, we did this. Mm-hmm. Like, I have a vision actually for like, it was funny. We're doing like a whole rebranding session. Like, as you probably know with this stuff, like, they go like, well, if you could be like on a magazine cover, like what would that magazine look like? And for some reason, like it just automatically can't do. I'm like, we're in a ball pit. We're like in this ball pit, literally like a big ball pit. And it's me and my team playing around, throwing like balls, like as if you were a kid, just like throwing a big ball pit. And we have every client's logo on each one of the balls that we basically like that's what we had. That was my vision. That just came to me, right? And I was like, that's awesome.
I picture like you throwing a group of balls towards
literally throw them all up, man.
Like there's the top down shot of you in the ball pit and
with all like literally my whole team, just like a bunch of like passionate kids that are grew together, and literally that's that playful mentality of it, right? A bunch of passionate kids growing together that built this, touched so many companies, touched so many people, helped so many people at the end of the day. Like that's what I want.
I think that speaks on mental imagery or envisioning your future, or what's the cliche term of
I don't know, man. I could probably go play in a ball pit. Well, actually, no, I can't because of COVID. But like, I think like you have like these like little like I think visions, right? Or maybe like I don't know, deja vu, like business deja vu, right?
But it's like the law of attraction. It's when you what's the word when you try to you picture what you want and you're getting it towards you, you're attracting it. It's
manifestation.
Yeah. So like what's
I think
your stance on manifesting things into reality?
We're going back into like the whole astrology conversation and stuff. What's your sign? What's written in the stars?
No, it's not that.
No,
it's not that.
No. I'm a big fate guy. Like I do believe in fate. I do believe like you cross paths with certain people. But like I do believe that you have to like make those paths.
100%.
That makes sense. So like you can't just like, I think you have like maybe hundreds of different fates or thousands of fates. Yep. But ultimately you got to carve the path and carve the roads so you can meet different types of people down the line.
Right.
And that's it. That's kind of what I'm thinking of how it works.
But I think like back to your think of the cover that you want.
Right.
The magazine that you want or whatever. Picture what that looks like. That in a sense is it's like going back to like you need to dress like the person that you want to be. You need to act like the person you want to be.
You'll become that person, man. You will become a person. But man, I just want to be like in that ball pit with like all these different company logos with my team, having fun, enjoying it, and like that's us today. Like that's still gonna be us in, I don't know, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4, wherever the hell it happens, right? That will still be those people, and I want that passion, energy, and just that fire. Literally the fire, stay hot, to be infused in not just me, but our whole team. And like, it's just energy, it's fun. Mm-hmm. Work doesn't need to be work. It can be fun, guys.
Everyone on your team must have share that same mentality, but like who else on your team is like, who else on your team is like fired up every single day and mirroring the energy that you mirror?
Oh man, I don't know if anyone can. Like, it's funny, right? Like my co-founders do. Like the 2 mentors that I co-founded this with, like they're just passionate people. Yeah. Like they're smart, intelligent, passionate people, and they love that. They have like that youthful kid fire in them always. And I think people on our team have that too. But I don't know. It's something, I don't know, maybe something that like that's where we really bonded. Me and the 2 co-founders, 3 co-founders.
You need that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've also always been like, I've always just been a very passionate person. I think like going back to hockey, going back to anything I do, like I get just really fired up. I love this shit.
Yeah, and it shows in your personality, and like I'm a big believer in like being able to read each other's energy, like other people's energy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you walk into a room and you're like, "Damn, who died?" Or you come in
here,
right? Or you come into the opposite and you're like, "Damn, this is where I want to be." So energy is palpable, and like I get fired up on these calls, and my energy rises. I had coffee before this, but like,
I know I'm awake now. I've actually gotten awake.
You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
It's there's an energy, and that's why I think this works. I'm wondering about like my next question or my next thought is like, because I'm into the world of like angel investing and I'm learning so much about venture capital and angel investing, is angel investing something that interests you as a person to do in your future?
Oh, 100%. I want to run my own like VC fund. Like I really do.
Yeah.
I want to run that. I want to do it my way. Like I want to, not just my way. I want to have like, obviously, hopefully my partners and my team still involved with me doing this, but like the way we do it, the way like we invest in companies, not just with money.
No.
It's with people. Like you invest your intellect and your people and your resources into into that startup, and you have to like, and you got like, I think the biggest thing that I've always realized is like you also listen. The concept, the idea's got to be good. You got to believe in the idea, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you invest in people. Invest in the person. Invest in the team. You believe in that team. You trust that team. It's all about the person at the end of the
day. It's true. Like I look at someone like you and like, I don't think it would matter what, like, obviously, yes, the idea matters of Greencube, and like you're doing data analytics and you're doing marketing and AI driven and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, it's you and your co-founders that are building this business.
Dude, like I was thinking about this the other day. Like we've been on, like, everyone goes on a journey, right? You think like the world's gonna end, right? You do, like you're in pain. You think it's all gonna crumble, or like maybe. But then like you hold it up, you keep holding it up, and now I can sit with you and say, guys, like I'm not gonna fucking lose. I am literally not gonna lose. I have like I can't lose. It's like it's such a weird mentality, right? It's like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make this work. It's gonna work. Not just it's gonna work. But I'm gonna make it work, and my team, I'm gonna bring people with me that we're just gonna kill us and make it work. It's a weird mentality. That's just like that belief. That's the belief, man.
It's all belief, and I've seen the quote of like, you've gotten through every part of your life that you thought was the hardest part.
Right. So true.
You just always get through it. Now, like that's not to be said that you're not going to encounter failure and you're not going to encounter the hardships, but like, that's just like, as long as you're willing to go through that stuff and willing to persevere and get through it to the other side, like you literally can't lose.
Resilient. It's like resilience, man. Yeah. Resilience is the biggest thing. And like, dude, I'm an emotional person. So like there are some small things probably that turn out to be really big to me, right? Or feel really big to me. But just getting by those, surviving, battling every day, mentally, physically, grinding, getting knocked down, getting back up, and then just eventually, like I feel like for like this whole process, like the wind's been like in my face the whole time, but now the wind's at our back. I think we're slowly turning the tides. The wind is at our back, and let's absolutely fucking go. Let's crush this.
I wanted, like, just for my own personal selfish, like picking your brain in terms, because like I'm getting real, like for the first time in a while, like when I graduated, I was like, I don't know what the hell I want to do. I love sports, so I want to stay in sports. And I also love the idea of business and branding. Like I know that, but I never like, I would scroll LinkedIn and Indeed to like job boards. And I'm like, man, like all these just sound like jobs, right? And nothing really like, I've never had a moment in my life where I'm like, okay, that's what I want to be. I'm going to go be it. But like for the first time in a while, I'm doing all this research around angel investing and venture capitalists because we're trying to educate professional athletes in this world too. But at the same time, while I'm trying to educate them, I'm educating myself. So I'm excited. I'm like, damn, like angel invest, like, yeah, because one, I love people. And like you just said, angel investing has a lot to do with the business and whether or not they can go to market and the strategy and this, but it's the person running that you need to bet on, right? So I love that. I can read energy. I feel like I'd be able to identify, have a conversation like this and be like, yeah, Troy's going to do it. And then second, I'm like, oh, okay, well now like I get to like, maybe me being a part of a brand doesn't mean I'm going to build my own. Maybe I can like believe in someone else's and help them and guide them. Right. So for the first time, I'm like, damn, like I want to become an angel investor.
Yeah.
So like, tell me about how much you know about that world, any experience in it. Have you had mentors that have taught you about it, or you're just doing your own research, or like
this is Greencube's an angel invested company, right? Like it's just
okay.
It was like originally funded by my two or three mentors here. It was an idea that they funded to date. I came in, changed the whole, flipped it upside down. And
Love
then
that, by the way,
basically,
because that speaks to who you are.
yeah, I was just like, guys, like, I don't, this is also like what we were doing. It was like sports betting lines or something like that. I forget now, it's so long ago, but flipped it on its head. And we just kind of, we worked as a team and pivoted and worked, and they were funding it. They were paying my salary. Like they were angel investing. Right. And so like we eventually came to what we have today. Right. And we will constantly keep innovating and getting better and better and better. But like that all started from an angel investment in me, I guess.
Yes.
Now, so they're investing in the person, right? I was probably not deserving of an angel investment back when they did it, but they stuck with me. They stuck with me and they stuck. And eventually, like, I got better and got better and got better and pivoted and was that crazy creative ideas guy that had a good knowledge about certain technology spaces and how it could play. And ultimately, we got to this point today, like eventually over time.
So you've told me that your co-founders have been like mentors to you, and they're your co-founders, and now they're the angel investors. So how much, like, speak on the relationship? Like, angel investing is almost like mentorship.
It is
money.
It's hardcore mentorship because it's their money at the end of the day. It's results driven, right? It's so you can be someone's mentor. It's really funny, right? Like you can be someone's mentor and help them and have like no monetary value playing in that. And it's listen, like that, I think that's great and that can help a lot of people, right?
Sure.
But for like me as like a young entrepreneur that was still trying to figure, or young kid who is still trying to figure out like what it meant, what dollars and cents meant in the business world, ultimately having them mentor me and ultimately saying that I'm not going to fail, but hold me accountable monetarily to the value of the business. Angel investing was painful, very painful, and hard conversations, but that ultimately allowed me to really grow into the entrepreneur I am today.
Yeah, I think when you slap, it's not pressure. It's pressure. But it's like it's
accountability.
It's accountability.
It's as like cliche of a term that is as accountability. It is literally accountability.
And so like you need to have your own drive for sure, but I think it's tenfold when like someone else is counting on you too.
Yeah, I think I've always had that too, right? Like it's been in the back of my head. Like I've never been like spending money. Like just growing up, that's how my dad raised me. It was like, no, like money is money. It's hard to come by and you got to work for this shit. But like when that's your family's money, right? Too, right? So then you go like when someone else's money that you don't really know and they're trusting in you and then it's a whole different sphere, man. So like it was a combination of just great mentorship. They're great people, but also like from an angel investment perspective, and then you link in that monetary aspect of it and how from a mentorship perspective. And listen, that's something where like, fuck, you got to be built a certain way, I think, to survive some of that stuff. Really do. Like you got to be like stupidly resilient and have it. Like I don't know if I could have survived that maybe at 20 or 21, but for some reason at 23, I was able to do that. Right? It's the point in people's lives when you can survive that.
What should people look for in a mentor? Like, do you want a hard ass that's going to be like, yo, like where's like how do you strike the balance between someone who cares a lot and don't worry, Troy, like we'll take care of you, buddy, like come here, give me a hug, versus someone who's just like, yo, get this done or you're dead to me?
I think I don't think there's a right answer, right? I think you'll gravitate to someone that you have respect for, or people that you have respect for, and that you ultimately just kind of read the energy and the flows of it and go, I need to be here. Does that make sense? Like, I just need to be around this. You know what? I don't know what it is about these 2 or 3 people that bust my ass every day, but I just need to be here. Yeah. Like, I'm still around, right? It's a weird, so like that, like, I think it was just, again, like those Jedi mind tricks, that force that kind of just brought me in that, hey, like, This is really going to help you, Troy. That's that, like, that conscience in the back of your head.
So for you, was it the AI tech data that was like, I need to be around AI and tech?
Yeah, no, it wasn't even anything to do with the company.
Okay.
It was the people. It was like
them building businesses, and you're like, oh, I want to build.
yeah, like that was part of it, but I don't even know, man. It wasn't like, it was like they were just like great. Like, I had a lot of respect for them, and then I obviously did a little bit of research and homework, and I talked to some people, and they're like, yeah, they have a lot of respect for that. Ultimately, and then I went, okay, like I'm gonna take a shot, and then ultimately, like, they kicked me in the ass the first couple weeks, week or two, right? Big wake up call, and I could have, like, listen, I was like, fuck, like, why am I taking this, man? Like, I should, like, what is this point of this? And then ultimately, but I still kept coming back, still stayed around, that energy,
right?
And that's what all came back. So I don't think, like, going back to wrap up and answer your question, like, I don't think, listen, there's certain parameters and like that you can set and be like, hey, like, this can be a mentor to me, but like ultimately, like, you gotta meet that person and say, like, I trust this.
Yeah.
And like you don't have to say that, but like you can, like, just feel it. You feel it. This is good. This is good for me.
It's all feel. And I think people who struggle with, like, people who are socially awkward, or, you know, the ones who speak, like, if you can't read the room, I'm sorry, like, it's just like you're gonna struggle, because it, like, everything you do in life, whether it's sports, business, family, relationships, husband, wife, like, whatever, it's all to do with people, and it's all about reading energy.
I don't think, but like the funny thing is, right? I think everyone can read the room eventually, right? Think about this. Everyone could read the room, but they're actually not fucking looking, or they're not seeing, or they're not listening, right? Because they actually don't care. You don't, like, if you're not actually paying attention to what, it's like walking into a lecture at 8 a.m. on a Friday, or like on a Friday or a Monday, you're like, why am I here? Right? Like it's funny, right? Like, you go into that room, you're like, I know this is good for me, but like, I don't really care about this right now. I'm exhausted. So you're not reading anything in that room. If you walk into a room and you're like, you're walking into a room, this person I have a lot of respect for, that person I have a lot of respect for. You're going to intuitively open your ears up and listen to them, and listen. That'll be so anyone can read a room, but you got to want to be in that room.
Yeah. So I think you need to, like, again, I'm thinking of all the people that just hate their job, and it's like, maybe you're in the wrong room.
Maybe, exactly. Maybe you're just not in the room you need to be in right now, right?
That's going to go over so many people's heads. Like,
maybe it's maybe you're in the room that you're not want to be in right now. Like, and that's it, man. It's just like, and it's tough, right? I was in those rooms. Man. I've sat in those rooms, and like, I wasn't listening. I've always, like, maybe had my intuition and was like trying to be not cocky, like confident, but like, I wasn't reading. I wasn't listening. I wasn't feeling. Like, you weren't. You're a body. You're just a body.
Like, this is going to drive me nuts, because I think there's something here in this topic about reading the room and knowing which room to be in. But it's like, we haven't even cracked the surface about, like, the human how do you define intuition? Like, that's something that's going to drive me nuts. Like, I want this to be a clip of, like, this is what intuition is, and this is how you read it. But it's not that simple.
Intuition is not that simple, man. But it all stems back to you. That's what I'll say. I am like, I would consider myself a very intuitive person today.
I would agree. I would consider, growing up, like, I always felt whether or not I was doing something right or something wrong. And that's got to be the way I was raised by my parents. But even at school, like, when kids wanted to either, like, I don't know, like, jump the fence because it's funny to go down in the park. No one's going to see us, bro. It's all good. But like, intuitively, I was like, yeah, no, I shouldn't do that.
That might have just been fear.
Okay, elaborate on that.
That might have just been fear.
What's the difference between fear and intuition? Like
fear. Well, fear is like you were like, fuck, I'm gonna jump the fence. I'm in trouble from my teachers. Then my parents are gonna yell at me. And I'm gonna pay attention. That's fear. That's fear.
But like, I intuitively knew it was a bad idea.
No, you were fear. You knew it was everyone. Like that's knowing it's just a bad. It's bad you jump the fence when you're 10 years old and run down. Like that's just a knowledge thing. It's not intuition.
Okay.
Intuition is like nothing has been like intuition. Like my intuition now is like I can walk into, and this is all because of myself. Like I've done a lot of work on myself to get to this point. But I didn't do work on myself to get to this point. This just has happened, right? Yes. Organically. I can walk into a room and I can not just like look at every single person, but I can just like feel the room again and say, wow, that person just needs someone to say hello to them.
I also like I'm thinking there's some guy.
But like I'm not gonna like, and like I don't know, yeah, I might walk over and say that. So like intuition is not like the fear. I'm not gonna do that because of fear and XYZ and all these different things. Okay. Intuition is just like you just being so present in yourself that you ultimately just are able to do and feel, and ultimately it's right. And the reason why it's right is because it all stems back on your self-belief in you, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. It does.
That's probably like the most clearest way to do it. Like, I don't know if like there's another.
I know, which is killing me because it's killing me because yeah, that's as good as it's probably going to ever be described.
Just feel like your own self, like your own feel in the actual presence that you're in, but that all stems with just it all comes through you, right? So like I am like I just know like again, Mike, I don't know, yeah, it's fucking hard. I'm trying to figure this. Yeah, I'm trying to put words to this. I don't like intuition is just like
it's your self-belief in yourself. It's your self-belief in what's right for you. But
you don't. But to the point where you're not even thinking about that, you just have it.
100%. I'm not here. I'm not like when I walk into a room and I see all these different people and I'm reading the room. I'm not like,
You can't be like, I'm Tristan. I'm founder of Thursday. I'm this, and that's gonna allow me to go calculate and go talk to this person.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just me. How are you? How are you doing today? Yeah. Are you okay? What's wrong? Can I get you a drink? Can I get you a glass of water? Can I get you something? Right? Like, hey, do you want to have a hey, like how's work going? And like you seem like
here's a completely different scenario. You're at a bar and or a restaurant.
Here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
And you see a girl and intuitively you're like, I think she's interested in me. But you've never met her before. You haven't even exchanged eye contact. You haven't even exchanged words or had a conversation with this girl. But intuitively, you're like, I think she's interested in me.
Oh, you know she's interested or not.
That's intuition.
You have to know. Like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Some guys don't know, bro.
I don't. I'm not setting myself up to fail. I'd have a good feeling if she's interested or not.
But I think that's another example of intuition, and it all stems down to your self-belief and what's right for you.
Yeah, and I just know, like at the bottom of the day, like I'm just listen. I like at the end of the day, like I don't have any like end agenda to anything, right?
Right.
I'm just like I think that's a great big thing about intuition. Like I don't have goals in a night, in a day, in a life. Like I don't have goals or like I need to do this.
Yeah.
I'm just here because hey, we're here. I'm this organically here. My energy's here. Listen, you seem really cool. I would love to just have a conversation with you. But I'm not thinking that. I'm just doing that and feeling
that. Fucking intuition, man. It's crazy.
Intuition. You don't think about it. You're just like, hey, how are you? Like it's a very just organic. You're not thinking. You're just talking, having it. This is great. It has been great to meet you. Thank you for this conversation tonight. I'm like, you have to be like you have to be like humble because you're confident and like obviously like you're believe in yourself, but you have to be like so humbled and just
And I think this stay hot conversations, they go a lot off of our intuition, because all we're doing is we're organically here, we're sharing our energy with each other, and we're using our own experiences from years ago, our experiences that happened this week, today, and what we think might happen next week or in a few years. And the conversation goes where it goes, but it feels right. It feels like it's going in the right direction. And those is where we don't have any goals for these conversations.
You don't exactly unscripted. Don't set parameters. Create the parameters. Blow the doors off the parameters.
Man, yeah, we're just here letting life talk. Again, like I mentioned in my story, I said I genuinely look forward to these things because I know there's no pressure, there's no like real expectation, because whatever we're just sharing our thoughts and our energy with other people.
45 minute conversation right now. It felt like 20 seconds.
Bro, honestly, I was looking at the clock and this is like, how is it over already?
Too fun. I
have no idea. So this is Act 3 of Stay Hot. I'm Tristan.
I'm Troy.
Let life talk, baby.
Let life talk, baby. Stay hot.